Yeah, so Mark here from Rock and Load, and this afternoon we are joined by Adam from Danish Progressive-Rock Band VOLA. We're outside the beautiful Olympia Theatre in Dublin. The guys have landed in Dublin to support Devin Townsend on his European tour. Kick it off here, and then you're on to the Royal Albert Hall in England. Yes. Super exciting, yes. Amazing. And then on to Europe. So make sure you check out the guys' website, VOLA, and obviously Devin Townsend for availability of tickets and dates. Adam, how are you, sir?
Doing well, thanks.
So you guys just literally landed in Dublin yesterday.
Yes.
Prepping yourself for this beautiful event tonight.
Yeah.
Have you guys been playing before now? Have you got the chance to get out and experience the live scene again?
Yeah, we actually did a little Scandinavian tour. I don't remember, a week ago or something like that, 2 weeks ago.
It's all a blur.
Recently, yeah. And that was pretty amazing. And before that, we've had like shows here and there, some Danish shows, and
And so how's the experience of being out live again after 2 years of nothing really?
It's great because it's like at a point during the pandemic we could play a few shows, but then it was like seated with masks and stuff, so it wasn't really the same thing.
Yeah.
And then now finally it's like real normal shows.
And it's a weird experience getting back out into that environment again, isn't it? You know, and everybody's taking it at a different pace. You know, you'll go. Different countries may respond differently, I suppose.
Yes.
And, you know, everywhere has been in a different time frame as well. So it's an unusual time still to navigate, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. And you guys have just literally dropped a beautiful live album as well, live from the pool. Congratulations on that! It was a stunning album.
Thank you.
Quite an unusual project as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So that was made during the pandemics. We just felt like we wanted to do a live show that people could enjoy anywhere in the world while being on lockdown and so on. So we went to like this abandoned military base in Denmark and set up in one of the pools in there. And it's like overgrown, abandoned, shattered windows.
How do you find these places?
I don't know. I think that place is like one of Denmark's hidden
gems,
treasures. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So our bass player Nikolai found it somehow, and we just said, let's do it. Yeah. We found this light collective or light company in Denmark called Vertigo that assisted us with making.
Yeah, it was quite an ambient looking event. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the band. Then you said the band has been really going for about 15 years from inception.
Yeah, I think it's 15 years or something. It's a long while, but it took the band also many years before they actually began dropping serious material. There were a few EPs, but the first album was in like 2015, I think. And I think the band had been around for quite a few years before that. But once that album dropped, then things started rolling, and I joined the band shortly after that, like 2017 or something.
Yeah. And as you said, like the sound itself is obviously quite unique. That sort of progressive rock, progressive metal. As you say, it probably took a while to hone in exactly in what direction musically they wanted to go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's still like developing. So all of us, we bring our own influences into the band, and I think one of the cool things about being in this band is that we can mix and mash all these different influences. Like, of course, all of us can unite around guys like, of course, Devin Townsend, Meshuggah, Opeth, and so on. But there's many more influences that are personal to us. I know some of the guys really like a Danish band called Mew, which is more like rock. It's less prog metal. I'm really into like Korn, Chelsea Wolf, other stuff in different genres, jazzy stuff, and we can bring all of it in. I think that's a really nice.
Well, it's a melting pot really of influences in a band, isn't it? You know, and that then becomes a sum of all your parts, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And yourself as a drummer, what sort of who are your main influences then growing up, and what sort of got you into the drums?
So, growing up, what first got me into drums was 3 bands: Metallica, Slipknot, and Korn.
Yeah.
So the drummers from those bands, they really pushed me to start playing drums.
Yeah.
And I think today Lars Ulrich from Metallica is still one of
your heroes.
Yeah, exactly. But like growing up as a drummer, I had 2 great mentors. So a guy called Svetlana Rokic, who's a teacher in Sweden. So I took private lessons with him for many years. And then Matt Halpern from Periphery also mentored me. And they really set me on the path to become the drummer I am.
Yeah.
And I discovered pretty early on that I have like some drummers that really have influenced me, but I really want to find influences in people who are not drummers.
Yeah, okay.
Like, may sound weird, but like Neil deGrasse Tyson can be a pretty cool influence.
Bit left field.
Yeah. But like just how to approach something, anything basically, how to approach a craft.
Yeah.
Can find influences there in Carl Sagan, same thing. Richard Dawkins. Could name drop many more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, as when it comes to drummers, Lars Ulrich, it's like the hero, and Terry Bozzio, it's also a pretty cool one.
But it's interesting though. You're talking about the guys. You were talking about the likes of Dawkins and deGrasse Tyson. You know, it's obviously when you become a musician at a certain level, then obviously you are looking for something else to maybe sort of help broaden your musicianship and your craft, because obviously it becomes so much bigger than just being a drummer in a band.
Exactly,
it, you know?
exactly. And actually, Stuart Copeland, drummer for Police, he said it pretty well. I think it was him who said it. I only heard another drummer, Todd Zuckerman, talk about what Stuart Copeland had said, so might not be completely correct, but instead of trying to, like, basically the core of what they said is try to become an interesting person, and that will translate to your art,
to your music.
And I think that's why getting influences from other fields and not just zoning in on drums, for example, as a drummer, can really make your whole experience richer. For example, Darren Brown, he's playing shows here, performing here. Yeah. That's also like a great example of, because he's a creator in a way, and just to see how he approaches his craft and try to translate that to your own world can be a great way to broaden your perspective.
Do you think that's something maybe again that's probably bigger and broader within the prog scene, because obviously it's such a creative venture, really beyond like typical rock and everything else?
So the prog scene is pretty special because there is one side of it which is like the progressive side, which can really be like challenging and creative, and where it's you try to take these things from a box that you wouldn't normally expect and you turn it into art somehow. But then there is this other side which goes for every genre, where there are the rules. It has to be like that. If it's not like that, it's not. So that can be a bit like, I don't know, a bit close-minded. But then this other side of prog can be really open and enriching. So I guess with any genre, it depends on where you look. And
with your own sort of discipline as far as like drums, what sort of approach do you take then, say as a young musician trying to build yourself up to that sort of level?
I wouldn't say that my approach is the correct one, but I'll just share the way I approach it. And my way has been to work more on intuition than technique, more on emotion as well. So if you ask me about various rudiments and practicing in specific BPMs and stuff like that, then I'm really not the guy to talk to. I know the paradiddle, voila. But like when it comes to actual like going into songwriting, going into emotional creation in drum parts, and not what you're playing, but how and why you're playing those things. I think that's more what I've tried to focus on. So usually when I have students, I like to talk about movies. Like I like to ask them, what would you create for the movie 300, for example, if you only had drums? Would it be a fast beat? Would it be only a snare drum roll or large toms? And why? Why do you want to do that? What does that give, and so on. So that's more what I've gone into and what I try to use in VOLA.
And what about the songwriting process within the band? How do you guys work that out, or how's it approached?
So I live in Sweden and the guys live in Denmark, so we don't meet up that often. But what we usually do is all of us just sit at home. We record an idea. So for me, for example, I record a drum groove or a few, and I upload it to our server. The other guys do the same thing with their riffs or whatever, and then we all just pick and choose, see what's cool. So with one of our songs, 24 Light Years, for example, it started with a drum groove. I just played around on the kit, uploaded it to the server. One of the guys took it, began, someone else built upon that, and that's how it started.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach to it. Obviously, the digital age really helps with that as well now, doesn't it? You know, whereas before, if you weren't really locked in a room together, the opportunity would be missed. You know, but now you can take time to build on ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was talking recently with Jordan Rudis of Dream Theater, and I was watching a very short documentary about the sort of the journey that they took. Obviously, you guys have been with Mascot Records for a few years now.
Yes.
But they were sort of Dream Theater were talking about the early days and the fight that they had on their hands with obviously trying to get a record label to understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm assuming as progressive rock has become more mainstream, more understood, likes of Mascot give you the sort of creative freedom that you guys need to express yourselves?
Yeah, so Mascot is actually a pretty unique label in that sense, I would say. I'm very happy with them because they really don't impose any creative restrictions.
Yeah.
It's the creativity, it's ours.
Yeah.
And they do what they do best. So that relationship is working out really, really well.
Yeah. It's an interesting one for sure. And obviously, as you say, we're here tonight. You're supporting Devin Townsend. It must be quite an experience to be on this bill.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then even beyond this, you're under the Royal Albert Hall. What a venue to play.
That's crazy. I think it's. I will probably really feel the impact of it afterwards.
Really, is it afterwards rather than pre-show?
Because like up until the show, I'm like it's cool.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah,
but my mind is so focused on what I have to do and like really in the
zone. Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'll be like, okay, I just played Royal Albert Hall.
Did somebody get that on tape?
Yeah.
And what's your sort of pre-show ritual before the show itself?
A bit of warming up, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not the best with that, but maybe 30 minutes of proper warming up, then just getting some energy going. Because usually before the shows, especially when you have some time to wait, you're just sitting there, the energy goes down. So I want to just wake up properly. And
out of curiosity, when you guys are playing live, do you improvise a lot, or do you just keep it quite structured?
So basically, the songs themselves are pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
We try to do special things live with structures, with different intros and so on. Me personally, I might improvise a few fills here and there, and so on. But like the structures are pretty set, so we don't really change that live.
Yeah. Understandable. You don't want to go too crazy in case it's off the wall and all tumbling down on you. Great. Well, look, again, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I know you guys are getting ready for the gig tonight. So again, big thank you to Adam from VOLA. Again, Danish prog rockers playing tonight in the Olympia Theatre in Dublin. Make sure you do check out the website and Devin Townsend's website again for availability of tickets and dates. Adam, thanks for your time, brother.
Thank you very, very much.
Pleasure. Thank you, sir. Okay, thanks again, Adam.